more trouble for the Muhammad Yunus-led interim government in Bangladesh. This, of course, as government employees are protesting against the Yunus government's decision to clamp down on dissent and basically create a path for arbitrary dismissals of government servants, bureaucrats, etc. Now, why is this happening? Well, it all starts from an ordinance passed by the government. This ordinance, of course, allows the Ministry of Public Administration to dismiss public servants for misconduct or any other such flaw, which and this is, of course, allows the government also to bypass the lengthy procedures associated with dismissing a government servant. And this, of course, is being seen as a move by the Yunus government to do away with measures that are built in the system to protect government officers, government servants from arbitrary dismissals. And this has led to protests at even the secretariat in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, and these protests have entered the fourth day. And this is something that comes amidst, of course, several sort of other issues that the Yunus government has been plagued with, including, the row over a corridor or Rohingya corridor, or even dilly-dallying on a date of elections. In fact, there's a big protest also planned by the BNP and its affiliate organizations, which of course want elections to be held by December. But this particular protest of government employees could spread further, and that could hamper the government, because then government work directly gets affected. So this is something that has now kind of snowballed in Bangladesh, and of course there are talks being held. It may be put off by a day, these protests, but all of this is significant because the Yunus government now seems to be wanting to clamp down on dissent from government employees. And remember, this comes in the backdrop of the foreign secretary of the country leaving his position over differences with the government on certain issues. And that is something that, of course, has been noticed, because sources say that those differences also are related to that Rohingya corridor. So all of these things are playing out in Bangladesh. The Yunus government seems to be, stepping from one issue into another, and they have, of course, been facing these issues for a long time over elections, over, the Rohingya corridor. There is disagreement on that. But this attempt to clamp down on dissent by government employees has really, sort of led to a further spark in protests in Bangladesh, which have now threatened to spread to other places as well. So obviously the Yunus government is now looking at a way out of this. They're trying to talk to also certain sections. But in all of this, one more issue that the Yunus government seems to have walked right into, of its own making entirely. But obviously this is something that could lead to more trouble for the government that already seems embattled because of the various issues that it has walked itself into, and perhaps, pushed itself into a corner by, insisting on a Rohingya corridor, or even, dilly-dallying on a date of elections, which was the specific mandate also for that interim government led by Muhammad Yunus. So that's something that's taking place in Bangladesh. And of course, it seems to be a challenging sort of week, and perhaps weeks to come, for the interim government and especially its chief advisor, Muhammad Yunus. For more such videos, stay tuned to NDTV. For all the news and headlines, also stay tuned to NDTV. Thank you so much for watching this video on NDTV's YouTube platform.